Guys, welcome to Alagawura TV. On this channel, we show you how to create beautiful designs both for websites, applications, and you are going to learn a lot on design applications, how to design websites, how to design mobile apps on this channel. In this video, I will be showing you Adobe Exit tutorial for complete beginners. In my previous video, I noticed that a lot of people like that, but there is something that I noticed is that so many people still don't know how to use the application that I used to create this car insurance website. So that's why I'm creating this new tutorial video on Adobe Exit tutorial for beginners. So without any further ado, let's dive right in straight away. So now I have my Adobe Exit powered up, and I'll be using Web 1920 by 1080 for this Adobe Exit tutorial for beginners. So just follow along with me if you're a beginner, and you are going to learn a lot. So now Adobe Exit is up. When you select an artboard, this is what you'll be presented with. Since I'm using 1920 by 1080, as you can see from the right hand side, this is the width I selected. I can change the size of this by modifying the width and height here. So this is what we want because this is the default size of most websites. So I'll be going with this, and I believe designing a website is kind of easier compared to for a beginner compared to designing a mobile app. So you have a lot of space to play with. So the first thing we'll be talking about, since this is an Adobe Exit tutorial for beginners, we are going to go over the menus, the tools, and the properties that we'll be having at the right hand side of the screen. So that's how we are gonna do it. So for now, we are going to start with the menu. If you look at the top left of the screen, just beside the Adobe Exit logo, you see File. Just like on all applications, to have a file menu, and what you always see under the file menu is the new, that is to create a new document, to open an existing document, to open from your computer. And the reason why you are seeing to open from your computer here is this, because oftentimes Adobe Exit is saved to the cloud. When you have an account, it will save your work to the cloud. Even if you are not saving it, it saves automatically to the cloud. So at times you might want to specify when you are saving that this should save to local document. That's why you have this open from local computer here. So with that, you have open recent, open UI kits, manage libraries, to close, to rename a file, to save as, that is if you are saving for the first time or you want to change the name of the document, to save as local, just like I've explained, revert to save as. When we've saved this will be enabled. Show document history, how to export as well. If you want to export the design maybe as a picture or whatever, you can do that. You can import as well. You want to import pictures to include in your design, you can do that. Link cloud document asset, all of that you can get those from File. And edit, just like normal edit, undo, redo, cut, copy SVG code, paste appearance, duplicate, delete, select all, deselect all, turn spell check on if you need that. Preferences, you can make some changes here. You want to change your language, you want to show some productivity tips, that is tips on new things that you are doing for the first time, and the app sees that. So that's what you get on other edit. And objects, this kind of useful, so I use this a lot in almost all my designs, and there are a lot of shortcuts to get through each object. You have to group, which is Ctrl G, ungroup, Shift Ctrl G, lock. You use that, you use lock almost every time. Add color to asset, add character, all of those you can get them there. And plugins, guys, plugin is one of the important things. It saves you a lot of time when you are creating designs. I use this is the only plugin I use actually, icons for design, because I use a lot of icons in my design. And you can browse plugins to download more plugins. You can manage your already downloaded plugins and the rest. View as well, this is also useful. view, you can zoom in, zoom out. I do this almost every time, but oftentimes I use the keyboard shortcuts to do that. So you can get all of that here. And window, this is just so helpful, guys, and you can get some help, you can learn more, get some productivity tips, and see all those helpful links around there. The other thing that I want to tell you, and it is very important, you are going to use this a lot, especially if you are working within a group or for a company that there are a lot of designers. You'll be using this is the design aspect of Adobe XD, but there is another aspect which is the prototype. After creating a design to animate all the pages together to make it look like a real website, you'll be making use of the prototype. So you have that here. And also, if you want to share this particular work, this particular design with your colleagues or with a client that you are working with, you are going to use the share option. So these three are so important. But for now, we'll be using the design because these two you can learn them. They're a little bit advanced, especially prototype. This you can share it, but this is a little advanced. But we are not going to go over that in this video since this is a beginner tutorial video. Alright, now that we are done with the menu items, the other things I think is very important is the tools bar at the far left here. Ever since I've been talking, you notice that this has been selected because that's the select tool. Use that to select anything on the page, and this is the rectangle tool. And well, okay, let's just go ahead. This is the rectangle tool. Use it to create rectangles. This is the circle tool. We call it ellipse. Use it to create ellipse. This is the triangle tool to create a triangle. This is the line tool, and all the tools that I've been mentioning, if you notice, they have a shortcut. L is for line, I think Y is for polygon because it's a triangle here. You can change the size. Soon I'm going to get into that. So we have the line tool. If you shift, it will have a straight line. So we have the pen tool, we have the text tool, and we have the artboard tool to create another artboard just like this. And we have the search tool. And just below here, you have some useful things as well. This is the libraries. This is the what you call it layers, because all of in Adobe XD everything is regarded as layers, just like you have in Photoshop and other advanced applications like that. Everything is layers because you have the layers here. They are basically layered over one another. So I can just change the layer here. I can, this is a rectangle, I can bring it over. You see that? So layers, that's how it works. And this is the plugin, just like what you have here. So you can see our icons for design. That's the main plugin that I use. It's over here as well. So you now understand each tools. They are just simple. This is what they do basically, and with all these tools you can create a lot of designs. Every design that you can see, you can create those because these tools are very, very useful. The only thing you need to know is just to know how to use those. Alright, so the next thing that I think is very important for a beginner is the properties section at the right hand side. And you get some property here depending on the tool you select. All these tools have their properties, and you get the properties at the far right. So the property of a select tool is just to select. Actually, it doesn't have its own property. But when you use the select tool and select any of the creations you have made with these other tools, then the properties at the far right side is changed. So depending on what you select, the property will be different. For example, now I have the select tools on. If I should select this rectangle now, you see some properties here. Likewise, if I select the artboard, some of the properties will change. So let's say I want to select the artboard now. You see some of the properties are changed. So depending on what you select, you get the right properties to fill whatever needs you want to use the selected object to do, depending on the property selected. So if I select this, you have different options. Select the line, you have somewhat of different options. These different properties, so to speak. So and with those you can create anything in Adobe XD. with this little information that we have talked about in this video, you can create everything you see online. When UI UX, you can create everything just as simple as it is. And one of the best reasons why I like Adobe exists because it has a lot of, as in just little tools to achieve a lot of things. So you don't need to learn like thousands of tools just like in Photoshop and the rest. No, just knowing how to use these simple tools, you can create everything you see online. And that's the beauty of UI UX. So with that, we have come to the end of this Adobe XD tutorial for beginners. And if you have any question, please drop that in the comment section below. And also please subscribe to my channel because we are going to be coming up with a lot of useful videos and tutorials for you guys. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.